What's up, Ranger Nation? It is your boy JB, and we are here today with a new review for Power Rangers Dino Fury, episode 16. The episode is titled Ancient History, you guys. So, before we get into the review, if you guys are watching this video or any other on this channel, or, well, it's going to be on JB Cyberspace. So, if you guys are watching the videos on this channel, please do me a huge favor and subscribe to the channel, like the videos, and share the videos. And with that out of the way, you guys, without further ado, let's talk about Power Rangers Dino Fury episode 16, shall we? All right, you guys. So we open the episode up and we see Ion. So Ion, he teleports to Stonehenge, right? Is that the name of the place? Yeah, Stonehenge. So then he, Solon tells the Rangers that they have a visitor. So then he teleports down to the base, and the Rangers, they're training. Meanwhile, Ollie is making himself a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. So we find out that, we know the story about, Ravcon. All this stuff happened 65 million years ago, right? So we see that Ollie demorphs. Not Ollie, but Ion demorphs, right? Now I was looking at Ion, I'm like, wow. So Ion has on, Earth clothes and not Ravconian, his nicer Ravcon gear, right? I'm like, so did he, when he was awakened, did he go on a shopping spree? Like, it was interesting, right? I'm like, did he go on a shopping spree after 65 million years? Or did he, whatever. So, Zeta was asking him, he was like, how did, he's talking about, well, that is an interesting thing, right? What happened to the other Knights of Ravcon, right? What happened to them? Did they all, go extinct like the dinosaurs? Like, what happened to them? Because we know that Zato and Ion are alive, but what about the ancient Pink Ranger, Green Ranger, Black Ranger, and Blue Ranger? What happened to them? That is a question that I would actually like to have an answer to going forward. But Ion shows him how they survived. He survived, right? He was ejected from when they had the great battle with the Sporix Beast. He was about, they were about to, finish the close, give the final attack to defeat the Sporix Beast, but they had to eject from the Zords, right? So he ejected. He was at the bottom of the ocean this entire time until the Green Morphin Master appeared and woke him up to help stop Lord Zed. So what happened is, you guys remember, I believe it was episode 8 when the Nexus Prism arrived and the Nexus Prism went down into the ocean. Well, the Nexus Prism found Ion, and I guess the Nexus Prism went back and told the Morphing Masters, which then the Green Morphin Master went and woke up Ion. So we find out that Ion wants to be a part of the team, but he not only wants to be a part of the team, he wants to be the leader of the team. And everyone's like, why? Zato is a great leader of this team. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to pause and move forward. All right, so you guys got a different change of scenery, and that's because earlier this morning when I was recording, I was helping my little cousin move out of her house into a new apartment. So back to this episode. So I was talking about the fact that Ion wanted to lead this Ranger team, right? So we find out the reason that Ion wants to lead the Rangers, and the reason that he wants to lead the Rangers is because of information that we found out about Ravcon. So we found out that Ravcon, the people of Ravcon, were the ones who created the Sporix Beast in the first place. So they created the Sporix Beast because they wanted the Sporix Beast to help them fight against the forces of evil, right? But once they created the Sporix Beast, Ion, even before they released the Sporix Beast, Ion told Zato, like, I don't think this is a good idea. Like, I don't think they've done enough testing on the Sporix to actually say that the Sporix are going to help us with our fight against evil, right? So going against Zato's, not heeding to not heeding to Ion's warnings, Zato went ahead and said, release the Sporix. So when they released the Sporix then attacked Ravcon, and then the Sporix came to Earth, right? So there's a sighting of a Sporix. So the Rangers go to the Sporix sighting, and it's our girl Mucus. So they're like, Mucus, you're not a threat. And so she has this blaster in her hand, and she starts blasting. And then at one point, she blasts Zato and trapped him up against a crate. So at that point, Ion led the charge to, basically stop Mucus. So then once they put a kind of a halt to Mucus, Slither comes out, and Slither and Mucus are in search of Ion Zord, the Mosazord, right? So then we figure out, so we see the Rangers, they're back at Command Center, right? And they figured out how Slither and Mucus were able to find the Mosazord, because remember in last week's episode, Dr. Akana, you remember that sub, when they found Ion, well, that also found the Mosazord. So Ollie has that information on his laptop. So they're going to go back to Buzz Blast to, get that information. So then we see Zato. So Zato is talking to Solon. Zato is basically questioning himself if he's a leader. He apologizes to Solon for not telling Solon about, his decision to release the Sporix Beast. And Solon just basically gave him a pep talk. And the gist of it is, like, we all make mistakes. We're all, well, the Ravkonians, but, any true leader, if they mess up, a true leader can be like, hey, I made a mistake, team, and let me rectify this mistake. That's what a true leader can do. But I love the fact that she gave him that pep talk, right? So, let's pause here and wrap up the episode. All right, you guys, and then to wrap up the episodes. So, we see over at Area 61, we see Mucus and we see Slither, right? So, look like they made a new creation, and this creation's name is Wreckmate. So, Wreckmate is, when I was looking at him, like, so, now see, I didn't watch Ryu Soldier, so I don't really know if this character shows, if this was a one-off character or what. But they created Wreckmate, and they powered Wreckmate up with a Sporix Beast, similar to how they did with Boom Tower. Remember, Void Knight created Boom Tower, put the Sporix Beast inside of Boom Tower, and that is how, he was powered up via the Sporix. So what their plan is for Wreckmate to go and find the Mosazord, so that way they can destroy the Mosazord. And so we see we see as Mucus, Wreckmate, and the Henchman are going to the beach to try to find the Mosazord, right? So, Mucus, she wants to get her stuff that she needs, for the beach, like her inflatable, the little inflatable thing that you see. I'm like, oh my God. I absolutely love Mucus. Mucus, it's with this, I'm really trying to think about who my favorite villain is. But Mucus and Slither are tied at number 1 and 2. Because I love both of them equally. They are hilarious together. I love me some Mucus and I love Slither, right? So the Rangers, without Zato, intercept Mucus, Wreckmate, and the Henchman, and then Zato joins them, and Ion is like, why are you here? Well, because he's still a part of the team, guy. Like, he's still a part of the team. So the Rangers morph, and they battle with Wreckmate and with the Henchman. So Zato and Ion, they're battling with Wreckmate, and the others are battling the Henchman. So the Rangers defeat the Henchman, and then they have to contend with Wreckmate. So Ion and Zato, they fought, with Wreckmate, and after their battle with Wreckmate grew gigantic, right? So they call on the Zords. So Solon sends Zords to the Rangers, and they combine. So then they start battling with Wreckmate, and at one point, Wreckmate knocked the Zords into the ocean, right? So while they're in the ocean, the Zords, they're not able to fight underwater because they're losing power. So they're like, so what do we do, Ion? You're our new leader. What do we do? Ion, unfortunately, doesn't know what to do because he's technically he's not a real leader. He doesn't have leadership potential. Let me say that. He doesn't exude leadership potential. So then he's like, he starts to understand what it means to be a leader, right? So then, we see him ask Zato what to do. So Zato tells him what he would do, that he would eject from the Megazord. They're like, but that'll destroy the Zords, but it'll destroy the Zords, but at least we won't be destroyed as well, right? So once they do leave, that's when Ion starts to realize truly what it means to be a leader. And then they were like, Ion, your belt. And so his belt started lighting up, and that is when the Mosasaurus showed up, right? So the Mosasaurus has awakened, and the Mosasaurus is now fighting with Wreckmate. So the Mosasaurus, so Ion and Zato both go and empower and fight the in the Mosasaur and defeat Wreckmate. And then at the end of the episode, you know, Ion and Zato, they made up. They're going to be friends forever, and now they're going to battle each other. And that's basically the end of the episode. It was a really, I enjoyed this episode. But let me know what you guys thought about it. Please leave your comments in the comment section below. Subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell button so you guys are notified of when I drop anything else. Share the video, and until the next one, you guys, be safe, stay safe, take care of yourselves. Remember, wash your hands, wear a mask, socially distance, be blessed, and I'm going to catch you guys later.